Hey, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Iconic Entrepreneur. Happy Labor Day to you. I hope this lime green shirt is not killing your eyes. I'm just in my Labor Day gear, which pretty much means very little labor is going on today. It's more recreation, if you will. Happy Labor Day to everyone. Today, I'd like to talk to you briefly just about the evolution through a child's eyes. You know, children are very much more evolved than we are as adults, because we have all these conditional mindsets that stems from your environment, where you were raised or lived or worked for many years, and you have all these conditions and presets in your mind, whether you know it or not. They're there. Well, you ever notice how you can ask a child a question and you get a honest answer? Time and time again, they're going to give you an honest answer because they're more evolved. They have nothing to hide, you see. And also, think about it by the same token. If a child asked you for something and you said no repeatedly, that child's going to keep asking, and you wonder if they've lost their brain or their hard of hearing or something. But actually, that child is looking for results, the results that they want. You must have this type of mindset to be an iconic entrepreneur. You know, you have to believe in the unbelievable. You know, you have to have faith in the unseen, unheard of. You know, as Martin Luther King Jr. would say, you have to take that step without even knowing there's a staircase in sight. That's been an iconic entrepreneur. You know, one of my greatest heroes of all time, if you will, I'm not going to say an idol, but a hero, is Vince Lombardi. He's a great football coach, in case you don't know who he is. He said that I firmly believe that any man's finest hour, the greatest fulfillment of all that he holds dear, is that moment when he has worked his heart into a good cause and lies exhausted on the field of battle, victorious. That's what Vince Lombardi said. And you're like, who the heck is Vince Lombardi if you're not a football fan? Well, Google Vince Lombardi, Lombardi, and you will see what an icon looks like. You know, it's just like prior to his Hall of Fame career, no one knew who Michael Jordan was. But hey, here he is. Everybody around the globe knows who Michael Jordan is. And pretty much, if you're into sports of any kind, you know who Vince Lombardi is. If not, like I said, Google Vince Lombardi and you will see what an icon really is. Another thing I'd like to mention to you very briefly is that, being an iconic entrepreneur, it really takes a lot of guts. It takes a lot of guts and a lot of gusto and a lot of not listening to the naysayers in your life. It could be friends, family, or foe. But you must really want to succeed deep down inside your heart. This is something that no one on the outside world has any input in. This is something that is deep inside of you, near and dear to your heart. There is a website that I subscribe to titled everydayissaturday.com. By the way, it started with the gentleman who hosts this website. He says his daughter asked him one day, hey, is it Saturday? And the dad said, no, why? It's Monday. She said, I want to go to the beach. She said, no, I got to go to work. It's Monday, baby. And actually, that little exchange inspired him to name his website, Every Day is Saturday. Every day is Saturday in his life, and it can be in yours as well. You know, you have to look at things from a different perspective if you want to see a different outcome. You have to look at things in a different set of eyes than the average individual in the world. Another thing I'd like to mention to you is that, again, about a kid and their evolution. Kids will ask the darndest questions at the most inopportune time. For instance, a personal story, years ago, I want to say about 15 years ago, my daughter, who is an adult now, was probably around 8 or 9 years old. I was in sales, out full commission sales. And my daughter knew I was in sales because I told her a little bit about it. She's a little girl, 7, 8 years old. And so she said, well, Daddy, what's the most sales you ever made before? And I said 3 in one day, she said. And I said 3. And she said, why can't you do 5? I'm like, what? She said, why can't you do 5? Well, believe it or not, that day I went out thinking about what my daughter had asked me. I actually made 5 sales that day from a little girl just asking the question, why can't you do 5? Hey, you little pipsqueak, do 5. And I went out and did 5. And it really wasn't that hard. It was just staying focused. And I had that little exchange between my daughter and I in my mind all that day. But hey, it worked, whatever it takes. Another thing I want to mention to you very, very briefly is that kids sometimes can awaken a giant inside of you with those type questions. You know, it's amazing how, like I say, kids and their lack of safeguards, if you will, they would just ask any question that comes to mind. You know, same things happen with older people too, but with kids it's more evolution, and with older people it's more like they don't give a crap. They're gonna say what they want to say. But that is how you have to think to become an iconic entrepreneur. You got to be a free thinker. You got to be one of those people that it doesn't matter, again, what the world says. You are on a mission. I put it to you this way. Jim Rohn, one of the greatest motivational speakers of all time, he says you cannot change your direction overnight, but you can change your destination. That is powerful. That's very, very powerful. This is something that I keep in like my daily motivational aspirations. I read that pretty much, not every day, but a lot of days I do. And I keep it in my mind, to be honest with you. Again, thanks for your time, sharing a little bit of your Labor Day with me. Peace, love, and joy. Again, any comments, leave them down below. Also, have a happy Labor Day. Oh, and one more thing I forgot to tell you. Age is just a number, actually. Ask Colonel Sanders, who past age 65 started KFC because he figured he could not live on $99 a month from Social Security. Again, peace, love, and joy. Have a great Labor Day.